Stitch Review! Welcome everyone to the first and ever Stitch Review. I am your host, the Frenzy Gamer, as today, well, we're just reviewing your stitches. What more do you want? Do you want me to give you an analysis as to what I think about your symbolism and many other aspects that go into a stitch? No! You wanna know why? Because number one, ain't nobody got time for that. And number two, this is just a basic video, just like maybe some of your stitches. So I asked you guys to send me your stitches on Twitter so I can rate them. And I think that this is going to be something fun to do because I know there's plenty of you who have a very amazing stitches. And I know there's also some of you who belong in the basic category. But essentially, I'll be giving you my short opinion on the stitch. And the actual rate should be around these corners somewhere. You'll see them eventually, I'm pretty sure. But let's actually get started. Alright, so the first review we will be going is for Potato Wizard, my boy. And I think he sent me his life stitch. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be for. It could be for like PvE, could be like energy, but I'm assuming it's a life stitch mainly because of the colors. And I have to say, this is actually really cool. It's very silly, but it is something that he's probably going for overall. So I have to say that the inspiration of just silliness with a gear and just having fun with it is definitely something that I could definitely see here. So overall, I'm giving this a World War I Aztecosaur Pilot out of 10. The next one is from the Visioner, or Visionizer. Now, this stitch overall, I really love it. In fact, this was a stitch that I was kind of going for my Balance Wizard, but I ended up going for something totally different. I'm actually glad I went for something totally different. And this is just something that I don't really see with every Balance Wizard. I think that this is a pretty rare, stitch getup overall. Very unique, looks really cool. So I'm giving this the Sorcerer out of 10. And the next one, we got my girl Monica. And I think her stitch is really cute. I really love this stitch. I think a lot of things about it just goes really well. The hair goes well with the stitch. The colors go well with the life school. The blade basically is supposed to represent life, given that, leaves aura. Everything about this, even matching with the pet, is just what I absolutely adore for her stitch. So I'm giving this a just Monica. The next one is going to be from Kylie, Night Hunter. And this one, I'm guessing this is supposed to be what she was kind of going for. She was going for like a Gulcher type of appearance. And honestly, I think she really nailed it. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if there's some like ripped robes. I'm pretty sure there are some ripped robes that probably would have made this a little bit better. But even so, I think this is a wonderful stitch. So I'm giving this a Gulcher Tamer out of 10. And the next one is from the man's AJ the Wiz. And I absolutely do love this stitch. My only complaint with this is that the boots, I believe, are a little bit too baggy to go with the robe. I kind of get what he was going at. He was going at for some kind of like, casual duelist or like, Sherlock Holmes. But like, instead of being the investigator, he's the enforcer. He's just ready to take action whenever the time is needed. And it does, all of it just really match well with the colors. You can't really go wrong with black and white to match with some other things. It's not really a possible feature to have. But again, my only critique is definitely in the boots. I feel like the boots could be a little bit more skinnier to kind of fit with the robe just a little bit more. But overall, I do think that it all fits very well. So I'm giving this a Sherlock Tombs out of 10. And the next one is from the girl Sangoball. And I think this is her Storm Stitch. There's not really much I can say other than it's cute. So I'm giving this a cute out of 10. The next one is from Alyssa Silverstone. And her stitch is probably one of the most unique stitches out there. Not to say that there's no other unique stitches out there in WIZARD101. I think there still are. There's plenty of them out there. But this one is one that I don't really see often no matter where I go. If I was to go in PvP, I don't really see this type of stitch getup. If I was to go questing, I don't really see this type of stitch getup. I see something similar with the hat, but when it comes to the whole stitch, I don't see really anyone else that has a similar stitch as her. And I think this goes very well with just, you know, the character for Storm. And gives me that pilot type of feel, which, again, something that I will think represents Storm very well. You know, maybe the scepter is meant to control the sky, you know, control, you know, storms and everything. You know, there's probably some kind of symbolism that goes with this. But I'm giving this a Storm Rider out of 10. So Galarian will be the next one. And again, it's a cool stitch, don't get me wrong. However, I do think this is very similar to, in fact, it looks like the exact same as the Witch Hunter's gear. So while it is a very nice stitch, I don't really see, you know, much uniqueness to it, other than, you know, the fact that I don't really see many people with the exact same getup. However, I do think it's a good stitch overall, so I'm giving this a Witch Hunter out of 10. Alright, and the next one we have Destiny Breeze. Now, she sent me 2 different stitches, which I think is really cool. I'm really glad that she sent me 2, because I'm going to review both of them. So, the first one is actually really nice. It's really unique, actually. I have not really seen much stitches like it overall. And I can see why she took a picture at that exact location, because, you know, we got my man's Uncle Prakash to her right side, and she looks pretty similar like him. So I'm giving this a Mrs. Prakash out of 10. So the next stitch that she sent me was, I don't know, reminds me of some sort of conductor, or so, like some old-time conductor with like big hats. I'm not sure why it reminds me of that specifically, but it just does. I think it's really cute. And my only critique with this is definitely just going to be the boots. My only problem with it is that the color just doesn't really seem to match 100%. I feel like the colors could be just a slight bit different, or just have different boots so that it can match with like the light pink, light purple color. I'm not sure, I'm colorblind. But I'm giving this Mrs. Conductor out of 10. And now we have my man Snow, and we do have another more entry on Discord, which I'll be checking in a minute. So we got my man Snow showing me 2 different stitches. So the first one is kind of like a nutcracker type of look here, which is cool. You know, I like the robe. The robe is actually really nice. Again, I feel like the only problem I have with this stitch is that I feel like the hat and the boots, just the color, doesn't really seem to match as well with the whole getup. Mainly because it's like leather going into armor, which normally just doesn't really do a great match. But I do see the idea that goes there, so I'm giving this a Nutcracker out of 10. And now he sent me another one here, which is, I guess it's what's supposed to go overall. And, okay, here's where it comes. Literally, you can see a bunch of people have with this similar getup. Again, it's a good stitch, but I do see lots of people with a very similar getup, so I'm giving this a basic out of 10. I'm sorry, Snow, I had to do it to you. There was somebody that had to be a victim eventually. Apparently, you're the one. Now, this is actually the last one that I'm going to be reviewing. This actually comes from Mona, personally, herself. And she wanted me to review this one. Now, personally, I really absolutely love this stitch. I think that this stitch, you know, is very similar to Alyssa, only from the hat, and that's literally where all the comparisons end. Like I said, there's people who have stitches similar to her, but the only similarity really is the hat. Everything else is totally different, and this is actually one of my examples I just said here. And for what she's going for the Numbari set here, you know, to make herself look like a Numbari. And I have to say, it looks really good. It matches the pet as well. And the staff is just really cool. I really love that staff. I still kind of want that staff. It's kind of hard to get, at least personally for me, it's hard to get. But for this stitch, I'm going to be giving it a Numbari Wizard out of 10. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you want to see more, make sure to hit that like button, and also follow me on Twitter, because I want to do a lot more community stuff like this more often, and the best way to do this is definitely on Twitter. So if you haven't yet, make sure to follow me. Link to my Twitter will be in the description. But other than that, let me know what you think as well. Should I keep doing more of this? Should I not keep doing more of this? And as always, remember to stay frenzy. Peace.
Getting stronger every day.